and Conway Twitty, and my dad was into 80s hair bands, and Star Wars really wasn't like, the headbanger's fucking dream. It was just I grew up in a house where nerdy shit wasn't the norm.
Conway Twitty, isn't that a
That's
country
country
singer?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of people in the Star Wars universe going, Conway Twitty's my shit.
No, but that's a reference I've heard a lot. And I'd never heard of the guy until I went to Nashville, and then everybody was talking about him.
He's a legend.
I've been back here a few times with people. So anyways, that's a weird reference. But I've seen... I don't know... I can't actually remember if I've seen The Force Awakens, but I've seen Rogue One. Right, Rogue One was the one that came out about a year and a half ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen all of the... like the originals, and then the prequels after that.
Right.
I've never seen Star Trek. Like, I may have seen, like, an episode here or there, but I've never followed them.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is great. But what's even, like, what I think is cool about Star Wars is that there's been a lot of development of the worlds, like, before and after the movies, just to explain some of the characters, and there's a lot of characters, like, a lot of Sith Lords that people don't really know about, but there's a lot of information on the internet about.
Even if you haven't seen them on screen in a Star Wars film,
right?
Like, there's enough nerds and geeks out there that like follow the books to a T.
Yeah,
that could tell you, you haven't seen this guy in the movie, but he's in the books, like all over the place. So
a lot of it is fan developed, but it's really interesting. I mean.
Absolutely.
All right, next one: Disney classics or modern Pixar.
That's the thing. I grew up on old school Disney, so that for me would have to be on a film by film basis.
That's fair.
Like, if it's deciding all Pixar over all of old school Disney,
I think that's what they're saying. Like, which would you rather?
I'm gonna say all old school Disney, just because without old school Disney, you really don't have Pixar.
That's fair. I'm not familiar with what makes something a Pixar. Is it like... well, I guess it's the company that made it, right?
It's all company. So you think like Toy Story and Finding Nemo, and that kind of thing. Like the
was
3D...
Up was like with the old guy
yes.
in the... Yeah. Man, that movie was...
Oh, yeah.
So
in the first 15 minutes of Up, it's like, oh, sweet.
Yeah,
now I'm crying in front of this room of strangers. Awesome.
That's for sure. I watched it with my mom, and she liked that movie, but she passed away shortly after that. So it's also got some like sentimental value for me.
Yeah.
But I just like classic Disney, man. I think
can't go wrong with it.
They're well done.
My kids
Dumbo is one of my favorite movies. Somebody asked me what Disney movies I should watch. And I said Dumbo, and they came back and told me it was the worst Disney movie they'd ever seen.
No shit.
And I haven't seen it in a while, but I feel like I need to watch it. And maybe I was dumb when I was a kid. Maybe I didn't know shit.
Now my son Jack is 2. He turns 3 in January, and he still comes home from the sitter and every day says, "Daddy, Mickey Mouse Beanstalk," and wants to watch the Mickey Mouse Jack and the Beanstalk story.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, like. He still enjoys this as much as I did when he was his age, like
right,
or when I was his age.
Yeah,
like that's insane to me. But yeah. All right. So what's the next thing on the list?
The next one, Britney versus Christina. We're talking about Britney Spears versus Christina Aguilera.
Britney Spears all the way.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me because I disagree.
Okay. I don't know. In my eyes, it almost like I saw Britney first. Britney did the whole like for everybody has that pop starlet of their generation. Fucking generation before us had Tiffany's and Madonna's and all that shit.
Yeah,
and we had Britney and Christina. For me, Britney Spears came first, and kind of. For me, at least, did it better than Christina did. And it's kind of like... How would you describe it? Britney Spears was like the brand name, and Christina Aguilera came off as kind of like the knockoff, like the bargain bin version.
I was gonna say, don't say it.
That's the way it came off to me. It's like you save money with going with Christina, but at the end of the day, you feel dirty.
Okay. So, Christina was more original than Britney.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Better singer. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that I don't know. Britney looked like she was like molded to be a pop star, and she, attractive, I guess. But I don't know, man. Genie in a bottle. From that moment on, I was.
You were hooked, huh?
Yeah, man. That was it. That's all. All I needed was. I mean, I like Britney Spears just fine, but
yeah,
she was no Christina.
I hear you.
No ex-Tina.
Everybody.
And she's kept all of her hair the whole time. Okay, I'm sorry. Mental health is not something that we joke about on the Taco Tuesday podcast. But
right.
That was a low blow. I'm sorry. You're allowed to cut your hair if you want.
Absolutely. Scorch the earth.
All right, next one. Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that Ross and Rachel had too many breaks. I feel like they should have just accepted each other's love and been over with it. But
yeah,
at the time, I do feel like they were on a break.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we need to. I agree.
Yeah.
Should Carrie have ended up with Big? We're talking about Sex in the City.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Big. I feel like Big treated her the best.
I do too. I never really got into that show, but from the little bit I know about it, it seemed like he was a decent dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Carrie was just wanting to find problems in every little facet and wanted to nitpick.
Yeah.
And Big was just like, hey, let me take care of you. And she's like, I don't know about all that.
Somebody's gonna listen and they're gonna be like, what are you guys talking about? Big was awful to her. But I just I don't know. They might be right, but I'm not. I don't know. So I'm just gonna go. I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Who is the best Batman?
Michael Keaton.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Adam West was good for like the original, kind of cartoony Batman back in the 60s and 70s, but at the same time, Michael Keaton, for me, that's I was young enough that Michael Keaton's Batman was what really kind of broke me into Batman.
Was Val Kilmer, was he a Batman?
Yeah.
See, I remember.
It was Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian
Clooney
Bale.
was Batman?
Yeah. He was the Batman with nipples.
Okay. All right. I remember. So I.
And then Ben Affleck. I didn't want to leave it.
Right. Well, yeah. Ben Affleck was a shitty Batman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Christian Bale, man. I think.
Yeah.
I like the Michael Keaton because that was like the first Batman movie I saw was one of the one he was in or one of the ones he was in.
Yeah. I just can't get past Christian Bale's talk like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an actor, but I don't know. I thought
Yeah.
I think a lot of it you like the Batman based on how good the movie was, So there were some that were just bad movies.
Oh, for sure.
You're like, all right, if it was Ben Affleck was probably the worst.
Yeah. No,
Batman for me.
Yeah, I could not get behind. I liked the look of Ben Affleck's Batman just because I dug the old animated Batman series and the fact that he was kind of barrel chested and you could actually believe Batman could come in there with no superpowers, actually fuck somebody up.
Right.
And that's what Ben Affleck's Batman looked like to me. The other Batmans kind of looked too skinny, or they relied more on the
gadgetry,
the gadgets, or the karate, the martial arts, if you will. And Ben Affleck's Batman just looked more like he could just go in there and fucking punch a hole through your face.
All right, I respect it. Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift.
Katy Perry.
Okay.
No, don't you trip past who you got.
No, I was just going to say you're wrong.
Okay.
Taylor Swift. I think, so Katy Perry is very attractive to me. Mm-hmm. I think she's a mediocre singer at best. Like, she is to singing what I am to comedy, right? Like, what? She's good enough. You are not
mediocre to comedy.
Oh, I am.
You are a funny dude.
No, yeah, but I'm still like mediocre. Like, you know, all of the other stuff that goes along with being a comedian is just not. So, yeah, this is not like a self-deprecating thing. It's just like, whenever I get really like, it's cringy to me whenever somebody says, no, I'm good at comedy. And I think, okay, if you're good, then why are you doing open mics in Iowa City or Rock Island or Des Moines or whatever? If you were good, you would be featuring or touring or like headlining or something. Until
Yes
you're
and
kind
no.
of at that level, I think that, or, you know, if that's not your desire, maybe. But
Right.
most people who are doing comedy would like to do it at some sort of serious level.
Yeah.
And if you're not featuring, like, the best I've gotten is I've done a festival and I've hosted some shows at some comedy clubs.
Right.
And really only one. I'm going to be hosting a show here next Wednesday, but you know, like
where at so that the people can hear.
If you're in the Dubuque area at the Moon Bar at the Diamond Joe Casino, I will be hosting for Augie Smith, who is a Bob and Tom. He's been on the Bob and Tom show a bunch. He's a funny guy. I will open up the show for him. But,
nice.
You know, like, I think my point is that, like, you know, you should be careful with when you say, like, no, I'm a good comedian when, you know, maybe, like I'm not saying you're bad, but, you know, words have meanings. So, like, let's just keep it 100. So,
okay.
To me, Taylor Swift is not a great singer, but she's a better singer than Katy Perry, and she's a better writer. The last album for me, for Taylor, was a no-go. I'm not a big fan of it, but overall, she's better.
I don't know. For me, like, Taylor Swift songs, they come off too whiny.
Okay.
And so, I tend to lean more towards Katy Perry. Just with looks and overall product. It's like, okay, I can bebop to her songs.
Yeah.
Taylor.
You like the Friday night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, for me, it's more like, really? Did she... That part in one of the songs where she said, "You could be getting down to this sick beat." Like, I don't hearing Taylor Swift saying "sick beat." It was cringy for me.
Yeah. All right, fair. Team Jen versus Team Angie. So we're talking about Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie.
I'm gonna go Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
I mean, all those years seeing her on Friends, and then if you've seen. Two movies pop up in my head. The Breakup.
Great movie.
With Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
And then the scene where I understand he's probably only saying this because she was naked. You didn't see anything. Like, you didn't see boobs or anything like that. Just the idea of it and the way she carried herself from the bedroom through the hallway into the kitchen, back through the hallway down to the bedroom. She still got it going on and hasn't had to do all the work that Angelina Jolie has, you know?
That's fair.
Jennifer Aniston keeps it more natural.
She does.
I like that.
I see. This is one. I don't think this is a fair comparison because they're both talented. You know, there's really no need to pit the two against each other. But I'm going to go Team Angie just because not only is she a great actor, but I really dig the work that she's, she's obviously adopted a few kids, but she's done a lot of work for other communities and cultures and countries. And, she raises a lot of money for charity.
Working with the UN and all that.
Yeah, right. And so for that reason, also very beautiful, but for that reason is why I'm Team Angie.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be a tough one, man. I'm not because I like both of these groups, but NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
I'm going to go NSYNC. There's been just within in sync, there's been more staying power. Not just with Justin Timberlake.